Okay, everybody. First of all, can everybody hear me and see me? Let me know yes or no on that, please. Yes or no, can you guys hear me and can you see me? I need to know that. Hi, Joe. Have you seen this new email? You got paid, do your daughter? I got one of them today. Pretty dumb. No, I didn't. But listen, can you guys hear me clearly? Yes or no? I want an answer. I'm going to guess the answer is yes. Thank you. Thank you for answering Rated R Forever. So, what we're going to be talking about tonight, thank you guys. We're going to be talking about feedback extortion, unauthorized chargebacks, eBay customer service with a crazy, crazy message. We're also going to be talking about issues that you guys want to talk about. So if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, you may type them in at any time and I'll be glad to address them. If I don't address them right away, that means I missed them in the stream. Just comment them later in the video and I will get to them. So I want to thank all you guys for stopping by to see me tonight. Thankfully, no more technical issues because I'll be doing it with the iPhone and the iPhone from now on, which works like a charm. There is no way I can master it on the Mac because they want me to add encoding software to stream the video, and I don't know what I'm doing. Excuse me a second. So yeah, that's the situation with that. So I don't see any glitches in the future. Thank you guys for showing up. You know what's weird is a lot of you guys seem to prefer these live streams because you can ask your questions live and interact with each other. However, I've had about 6 or 7 emails from people who stated they miss my old school videos out on the deck. I am going to do more of them, but not as many as I used to do because I want to tell you something. You have no idea how long it takes me to do a video. You see me put out a 25-minute video. That video takes 2.5 hours to make. Because first I film it outside, which takes about 40 minutes. Then I have to edit out all my cursing and swearing when I didn't get things right. Then I have to upload the video to my computer. It's got a process. It takes forever. Then uploading it to YouTube. This is much easier for me. Plus, I can nail your questions on the fly. So yeah, I still will be doing some of those, probably 1 or 2 a month. So yeah. So first, I want to tell you a little bit about feedback extortion. Joe, did you see the eBay article in last week's New York Times? No, but listen, Mary, somebody else mentioned that to me, that it was written in a negative manner. Mary, can you briefly summarize what was said in that article as concisely as you can? I didn't read the article, but I'll Google it when I get a chance. But I heard it was a negative article. But yeah, feedback extortion. This last year, I can't tell you how many issues I had with people threatening me with feedback extortion. This is something that has never happened to me in years past, and it happened again this week. Basically, I sent a guy an item. I had it listed for like $75. I sent him a best offer of like $65, and he sent me, yeah, you'd like to see my unedited video of versions with the swearing? Never gonna happen. This is a family channel. So he sent me a counter offer of $50 plus shipping. And the item, I figured if I held on to it, I could, in fact, get more money. But I figured I'll just sell it now and take the $50 and run, which is what I did. I sold the item to a buyer here in New Jersey. He got the item and immediately contacted me. It was about the entire situation about the e-commerce sites. No, I didn't see that, but I got to Google that, Mary, and I got to check into that. Anyway, this guy writes to me and says, the hub you sent me has a lot of rust on the back. I want to know what you're going to do about it. I said, look at the pictures. What you bought is for a classic car and says, this is in very poor. So I wrote back to him and I said, listen, if you're not happy with it, just send the item back. I will give you a full refund, no questions asked. And I knew he'd never send it back because he's for a classic car called a Crosley, a car I've never even seen before. But anyway, he writes back to me and says, it's too much work to send it back. I'm just going to keep it, and I'm going to leave you appropriate feedback, not as described. My audio is out of sync. Wow, I didn't know that. And I don't understand why that would be. Do the rest of you guys notice my audio being out of sync? Let me know in the comments section, because I know there's one that says yes. Yes. Does anybody know how to fix that? I've just seen 2 comments about the bulk editing of your stores, and some have said it helped, and some have said it hurt. Does anybody know how to fix that out of sync thing? Speed of the internet. Laggy internet. It's okay now. All right. No. Restart. I know, guys, I hate when I'm watching a TV show and it's out of sync. Some are saying it's okay now. All right, let me know if it screws up again. But anyway, the guy who the guy who's claiming he's going to leave me appropriate feedback. Do you guys think that that would count as feedback extortion? That's what I'm wondering. Would it count as feedback extortion by saying I'm going to leave appropriate feedback? You know, I don't know. I checked his feedback and he has left negative feedback for the last 23 people. Can you believe leaving negative feedback for 23 people? And that's just on the first screen. And if he does this, I will be going public with it in a screenshot video, because I think we should all be protected against bad buyers who leave feedback negative after negative, and I will not stand for that. All right? If he does it, he hasn't done it yet because the 5 days has not passed. But this guy is professional at it because he knows how to word what he said to me. All right? He didn't say, I will leave you negative, but he has left it for 23 people, and don't you worry. If he leaves me negative, I'm going to screenshot it. I'm going to do a video on it before I get it removed or try to get it removed. I want you to see what he's doing to sellers. Okay? So yeah, that's my feedback extortion story with a crazy story, and it's very concerning. Joe, define extortion. Joe, we all want to block that fishy buyer that left the 23 negs on the other sellers. My store has 10,000 items and the number of inquiries for price. Yeah, there's always somebody looking to get a better deal than you want to give them. But somebody wrote to me today and stated that there's a story going around where a buyer purchased a coat from an eBay seller. The seller had the coat listed as no returns. The buyer got the coat and didn't like it, a pure case of buyer remorse, and wanted to return the coat. However, the seller did not take returns. The buyer then contacted eBay, I believe through the live chat option, and explained the situation. And the eBay representative looked at it and said, well, the seller does not take returns for buyer remorse. But how did you pay? Did you pay with PayPal? And the buyer said, yes, I use PayPal. And then the customer representative is said to have told the buyer to go on to PayPal and file an item not as described case. even though the item was exactly as described. This is very concerning. I have the whole text of the conversation that she shared with me in an email, and when this video gets posted on YouTube, I am going to cut and paste the entire conversation either in the description box or as the first comment, and I will pin it. This is very serious. I don't know where she got the email from, but I think it's floating around on the eBay chat boards. And if it's true, it's something you should all be concerned with, that an eBay representative would tell a customer to falsely open a PayPal case saying item not as described when the buyer admits it was a clear case of buyer remorse. That's something we all need to stay on top of in the near future. And like I said, I will post that when this, oh, somebody else saw it. Zero and Zora said, yeah, I saw that too. That's very concerning. Well, yeah, I didn't actually see it, but somebody emailed it to me. And that is serious. My so-called life said, yes, it's been getting shared around the eBay Facebook groups. All right, most of you guys seem to know about this already, which surprises me because I didn't know about it until I was emailed earlier today. But that's something that's serious, okay? So glad I don't get returns. Collectors are of a different breed of buyer, non-fishy. You are so lucky, Duncan, to sell collectibles. I get 3 to 5 returns per week. But luckily, I have to admit, usually my buyers are pretty darn honest. I did have that one fishy buyer I've broken, remember? And the clips were not broken. Everything was fine. And he never sent the item back. And I called eBay and they refused to close the case. They said they won't do it over the phone anymore. It has to time out naturally. Well, it did time out about 2 days ago. I got a letter from eBay saying that they closed the case because there is no evidence that the buyer sent the item back to me. So that's one less fishy buyer I have to worry about. But keep that in mind, guys. Next, unauthorized chargebacks. I had another one this week. Heretofore, I think I've had 5 in my entire eBay life before the year 2020. Now I'm getting, how many have I had this year? Like 5 of them. Unbelievable. Anybody that jerks me around gets put on my block buyers list for sure. Now, what this person did, I can, again, prove to you that this person did this maliciously with intent. They bought an item back in June from me, in the month of June, okay? They waited till over 3 months and 4 days before they filed this unauthorized transaction because eBay, as you know, only keeps a list of your sales for the last 3 months. After that, you can't get to it. So I had this lady's name, but I couldn't figure out what she bought on eBay. I hopped over to PayPal, and the amount was $59 and change. PayPal said, there is evidence that you have shipped the item to the buyer and they received it. Give us a few days, and we'll get back to you with the disposition of this case. So they got right back to me the same day, PayPal did, and they said, we are going to cover you for the $59 and change because it's obvious you provided the item to the buyer. But the bad part is PayPal is paying the $59 to me out of their own pocket. So that means all of us in the long run are going to suffer for that because of what this one scammer did. Now, what I'm in the process of doing is finding the slip because when I sell items on eBay, Dennis Copper says blob equals moist meat. Dennis, I think you mean to say rotted meat. But I always keep a record of everything I sell on one of these. So what I have to do is I have to go back to the month of June and I have to find out, I'm going to check this lady's name and I'm going to do some exposing. Because it bothers me when people file these unauthorized chargebacks because they never ever attempt to return the item and say, give me my money back. They want to keep the item. And then they say, give me my money back. Now, I don't get many of these. And luckily, the ones I get are only around $50 or $60. But it's something that happens, and it should not happen. And when it happens, I'm going to report it. Joe, don't you have fun now through PayPal? H&H Entertainment has asked me. I don't know exactly what you're asking me. I honestly don't. So yeah, I may have told you last week on the video that I did not receive a swag box from eBay for their 25th anniversary because I was really bummed out about that. So, have you ever considered selling on Mercari? It's like eBay, but without the auctions. Ricky the Wolf, I tried Mercari. Jerk. Guys, did the video just end? I got an error message that the video was having trouble connecting, so it might be out of sync temporarily until it catches up with itself. Maybe I should switch internet providers. I didn't have this problem last week. Are you guys just came back? Yeah, went off for a few seconds. I don't know if it's my internet. Maybe I should switch internet providers. I had no problems last week. But yeah, thankfully it's working again now. So, oh yeah, the swag bag. I made a statement on a couple of the eBay Facebook groups that I did not get my swag box. And eBay took notice of that and sent me 2 swag boxes. Where is it? This is one of them right here. I don't really want to pull everything out, but it's got all kinds of good stuff in it. It's got this. It's got this. It's got this. That. And a few other things too. So, thank you, eBay. I know that you guys are watching this. So thank you for the swag box from the head office. Maybe, I don't know. So yeah, but I've told you most of the stuff that's on my mind from this week's eBay sales. I want to hear from you guys now. How was your week on eBay? What do you want to talk about? Joe, did you get a plush eBay the Beast doll? No, Dennis, I haven't seen one like that, but if you have one, I'd like to see a screenshot of that, please. 300 to 400 items a week, and you get 1 to 2 returns a month. Okay, that's pretty damn good, I think. Sales are dead. I read some of your comments earlier in the live stream about you refreshed your stores, and some of you did well, and some of you did not do well. I have been doing well. Yes, it's for only U.S. sellers, H&H Entertainment. It's the 25th anniversary. Last week I told you 2 weeks ago I was bidding 4.5%. Then last week I came down to 3%. Midweek this week I went down to 2%. And either tomorrow or Sunday I'm going down to 1%. All right? I noticed that every time I make a bulk edit of the percent, whether it's up or down, it spurs sales. I might even do it tonight. I'm going down to 1%. That is my next stop. Okay. Now, if you guys do encounter any fishy buyers on eBay or even a fishy seller, you should expose them. Okay. And Duncan's right. Like Joe said, bulk edit your promoted listings. It does work. It worked for me. Duncan, it's always working for me. All right. Now, Zero and Zora says 5% worked great for me, but 3% everything plummeted. Well, try going back up to 5%, I guess. But yes, Every time I edit in bulk, the sales come in usually within 1 hour, no more than 2 hours. Thankfully, I've had no cancellations this week, which is always a good thing. Returns, yes, I've had a couple, but the buyers were honest and they said that the item didn't fit. They made the mistake and they sent the item back. One guy sent the item back without uploading the tracking number to eBay. So I was quite surprised to see that it came back because I wasn't expecting it back, but he paid the shipping. So I definitely gave him his money back. No problem there. What I will do now, we're at the 21-minute mark. I'm going to stop briefly and I'm going to take a drink from the Fox News Cup of Life. This is the Fox News Cup of Life. Happy is he who drinks from it. Okay, very good. All right, guys, talk to me. Tell me what you want to discuss eBay-wise, or whatever you want to discuss. Questions, comments, concerns. This is your chance to be heard. Fox News Cup of Life full of whiskey today? No, I don't think so. Joe, I use a markdown sale. I have a 10% sale store-wide. Plus, what I told you, I've got the promoted listings bid at 2%, but it's going to be going down to 1%, and I bet I still get a boost in sales. What about the store changes coming up? BG Sims wants to know. Now, BG, I want to ask you, are those changes you heard written in stone? Because as I told you last week, I was sent a survey about new store seller levels, but according to what I understand, nothing is written in stone. All right? I have heard rumors, but nothing's been announced yet to my knowledge. All right? Duncan says, I use the buy 3, get a discount offer. That doesn't really work for me in auto parts because most people want to buy 1 piece or 4 pieces. Dennis says, Joe, did you ever use Turbo Lister or 6-bit? And the answer is no to both of them. Did you see an increase in eBay motors for Q4? Zero and Zora asked. Q4 is traditionally my worst quarter, and I dread it and I despise it. And I'm out of sync again. I don't think I can do anything about that, Dennis. I think it's going to have to catch up on its own. You know, Kelly Garnett wants me to start selling some merchandise. And you know, I talked about that months ago, and I would really like to do it. But listen to me. I absolutely suck at setting up a store, a YouTube store, a merchandise store, anything that involves technology, I stink at. I'm terrible. You know, all you guys have something you're weak at, I'm sure of it. There is nothing I'm worse at than like coding, technology, source coding. I just can't comprehend it, all right? If you gave me a choice to work on a web page from scratch with coding or work in a cesspool 4 feet high with human excrement, I would choose the latter. Because although it's unpleasant, I know I'm capable of cleaning it. But with the source coding, and I'm just terrible at it. Hey, everybody's good at different things. And like Clint Eastwood said, a good man knows his limitations. And it gets me mad, it gets me upset and frustrated. I'm not touching it. So yeah, hopefully that answers the question. And as far as my internet speed is concerned, I've never had the problem before, but I'm thinking seriously about switching internet providers because we had a big problem here 2 months ago when I lost internet for 6 days, as you probably remember. I never shipped out of the U.S. Now they buy from out of the U.S. and they have an address in the U.S. I only use the eBay Global Shipping Program to ship overseas. It's very good for a seller. For a buyer, it's very expensive because they tack on extra fees, all right? But for you being a seller, I highly recommend the eBay Global Shipping Program. I've made thousands of dollars using it. Over the years, they've lost maybe 6 or 7 of my items, meaning I ship the item from here to the global shipping hub in Kentucky. And then from Kentucky, the third-party shipper lost the item from there to the country of residence of the buyer. But in each case, eBay covered me. Get a Job says, hey. Hello, Get a Job. Old days, they can't pay me via PayPal. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Chris Tiger. You'll have to explain that. As long as you have a PayPal account, there should be no issues. Rated R Forever says the GSP is a scam. Rated R, do you mean as a buyer or as a seller? As a seller, I have no complaints with it whatsoever. I love it, and it makes me extra money. I know that there's a tariff involved if you're a buyer, and you're going to have to pay extra. Robert Wilbur says, global shipment customers are usually better and more reliable than U.S. buyers. You would think it would be the opposite. You're right. I never have a problem with overseas buyers making a complaint, unless in the rare instance they don't get the item. But those are careful buyers. They read the listing, they know what they're buying, they see the price, they never complain, absolutely ever complain. I love them. I have a block for all non-US accounts on PayPal. Okay, Chris, I don't have that. I'll take as I can get my hands on. I always want the Bronx and any good place to stay for a reasonable. Do you mean as in hotel? Some decent ones in Queens near Kennedy Airport if you're flying in. But I wouldn't be staying in the Bronx if I were you. That's just my opinion. I would stay in Queens if you're flying in. If you're driving in, yeah, why? Money is money. Duncan says, if I was buying something expensive from the U.S., the GSP is a good idea. It is a good idea. I have no complaints with it at all. I mean, it's not free. It's not cheap if you're a buyer, but you know, what the heck? My GSP buyers are buying parts for their classic cars, and they seem to have disposable income, and I love it. And it is covered if it arrives damaged. The Paul Hotel in the Upper West Manhattan is awful great place and wonderful location. Well, you know, I've never stayed in a hotel in New York because I live so close. There's no reason for me to do so. But I'm glad you had a positive experience with it. I know the prices in Manhattan tend to be quite a lot. But then again, that's anywhere you go. I know they're not cheap in Vegas either. We were out there for the eBay Open several years, as you guys know. So yeah, what else is on your mind? It could be either eBay questions, New York City questions, whatever you got. And also let me know if you prefer next week. Do you prefer that I do a video outside on my deck? Or do you prefer another one of these? If I do a deck video, I'm going to have to use either my cheap digital camera, which can also do video, or this iPhone, because that's all I got right now. So let me know how you feel about that. I think that the blob is too scared to post on the chat. Ha, ha, ha. St. Paul, Minnesota says, do you have FedEx pickup at your store? I don't, because I don't have FedEx shipments every day. When I have them, I just bring them to the drop-off center, which is a few blocks away from me, right on the same street I work on. In fact, in order to get to the post office, I have to pass the FedEx drop-off center. And I ship the post office every day and FedEx almost every day, but not every day. Your phone has good quality videos. The problem I have with this phone, and maybe one of you guys has the answer, if I filmed an eBay video right now on this phone, let's say a 20-minute video, I have trouble when I try and upload it because I have so many thousands of pictures on this phone. It seems to be very confusing, all right? And I actually don't know what to do. So if any of you guys know that and can master that, either tell me or email me at crazeenydriver@aol.com. The best way I can upload a video from this iPhone to my computer without confusing it, because I have so many thousands of pictures on this iPhone. That's my question. If anybody could answer that, that would be great. Scrape off the pictures to your computer. That's kind of an odd way to say it. Next week, the show will be an hour earlier because of daylight savings time here tomorrow. iCloud, yes, I've got a lot of things stored in the cloud, but again, that goes back to me being confused with, if I want to use the word technology, all right? I mean, sometimes I ask Matthew, but I hate asking him so much because he gets flummoxed sometimes. It may be a storage. Download the pictures to your computer. But the thing is, I have so many pictures I don't need. Like every Monday, I take pictures of my eBay sales going to the post office, and I post them in the eBay Stores Facebook group. It's tradition. You've got 2,200 pictures on your iPhone. It's more scrape than move. It took an hour. Yeah, well, pictures on a micro SD card. I've always had iPhones. I've never had Android. Connect your phone to your computer and then ask what you want to do and just say download all the photos. Give it about half an hour. But I don't want the photos. I have no use for them. I only want the video if I use this phone to record the video outside. Otherwise, I might try my little digital camera. Rubber Wilbur says, I lost another big sale this week from a buyer who immediately canceled after they saw my competitor. Oh, I hate that. Rubber Wilbur, did you accept the cancellation? And you said it was a big sale. I'm against accepting cancellations, all right? Only because it's eBay playing dirty pool, showing us our competitors' videos. This week, a question was posted on one of the Facebook groups. And these questions are being sent to an eBay executive who I'm not going to name now. They said, if you could ask this eBay executive to change one thing at eBay, what would it be? And that would be, I told him, I said, stop showing our competitors' videos. God darn it, I did it again. Stop showing our competitors' items at a cheaper price after they purchase ours. That's it. That's what I said. And I think I got 55 likes on that comment, which is unusually high for Facebook. For 30 minutes of your show and sold 3 items, you bring good luck. Well, I'm glad you're making money. That's great news. Reinstate negative feedback for buyers. You know, Stan, I explained why in last week's video they won't do that. I wouldn't mind it, all right? But there were a few sellers that took advantage of that. There's some fishy sellers, like that one person I told you about last week, that jewelry salesman who would neg all of her buyers that complained about her products with vulgar and unacceptable things, what she accused them of. Just horrible stuff. And it went on for years. And eBay left all those comments up. And finally, after about 6 or 7 years, they totally wiped the slate clean and took them all off. You know, I kind of wish I would have screenshot everything. But Duncan says some fishy sellers abuse the negative feedback for buyers, and they do. They honestly do. I never abused it back in the old days. If a person didn't pay me, they would get negative feedback. End of discussion, all right? At first, I was a little bit naive. I would leave them a negative feedback, and then a deadbeat bidder would turn around and leave me negative feedback, even though they never paid, because they did in the early days. They could do that. Then I got a little smart. I started marking down dates on the calendar when the last possible day was to leave feedback, and I would zing them on like the last day. You know, deadbeat bidder, never paid, this and that. But what I would really do, and I really enjoy this, and you're going to laugh, guys. I bet you every one of you guys laughs or smiles when I tell you this. What I would do with my deadbeat bidders during the early days is anytime there was a holiday coming up, and Christmas was my favorite one, all right? Even if the full 60 days, I would write right on Christmas Day. I'd leave them their negative feedback for not paying. Deadbeat bidder. Bidder never paid. Merry Christmas. And I loved it. I loved it. I also did it on Thanksgiving. Deadbeat bidder. Bidder never paid. Happy Thanksgiving. That was my trademark, and guys, I enjoyed doing it. But anybody who didn't pay got an egg. Hi, Joe. Great to see you live, says Stephen Jones. Dennis says, that's naughty, Joe. Joe, what do you think the Blob is watching your show? The Blob is pathetic. I don't even want. He's doughy. Okay. Any more comments, questions, concerns? You guys seem to be very active when it comes to negative feedback and wanting to leave negative feedback, but eBay has said they will never bring that back. I did the same thing, Joe. Merry Christmas, St. Paul MN Seller. Yeah, I miss doing that. And I really miss toolhouse.org. The Blob has been zapped off the show. You know, Duncan, I was going to put the sign behind me with his, 400-pound frame on it. You know, the crazy New York driver sign. And I said to myself, no, maybe I shouldn't do that. Why break balls unnecessarily? But do you think I should bring it out? The crazy NY driver sign with Rob and the Blob on it. I could put it right back there. I was thinking about doing that. There, out of sight in the kitchen. Wolfpack says yes. Chris says yes. No Blob. Steven says no. How come some seller lied about a new item, sell it, then never respond to the buyer's open? Who did that? Tell me a little bit more about that. If you encounter a bad seller, it's important that you bring this up because nobody wants a bad seller on eBay. I'd rather look at the birdhouse than the Blob picture. I agree with you, Duncan. That's why I had mercy on you guys last week and this week and didn't bring it out. All right? Rise above that on live. That's what Steven says. Hey, Steve, that's why I didn't bring it out. But, I don't like looking at him any more than you do. eBay needs to be a safe place for both buyers and sellers. Joe, is Jason okay? He was live with you a few times, but it looks like he's gone into depression. His name is Jason DeCanio, not DeMarco. I'm Joe DeMarco. You're talking about Jason DeCanio. He runs the Queens New Yorker channel. The thing is, he was doing a lot of videos. He's being attacked as well, just like I am. And I'm not exactly sure what went on with his channel, but he was having some problems with it. Joe, I thought you had a brother there. No, Jason is DeCanio. He's a fellow Italian, but it's a different person altogether. The more you have, the more we can talk about. I'm not going to keep you guys all night because I know last week I went like an hour and 15 minutes, and some people were a little offended by that. Marquis says, that's sad. I hate to see good people chased off YouTube, and I agree with you. I told Jason, I said, why are you doing this? I said, keep making videos. Don't stop. But he is determined to move his stuff from YouTube over to Anchor. All right? I'm against that idea because you don't make any money on Anchor. You can make money on YouTube. Stan wants to know if I cook. The answer is absolutely not. That's another thing I won't venture into. All right? I don't like it. I'm not good at it, and I'm not doing it. Who's crazy enough not to want more time with you? Well, there are some people that would actually rather have my videos outside than these lives. Okay? And that's their right if that's what they would rather see. I have no problem with that. I want to try and make a balance to make everybody happy. Those who like these live streams and those who like the outside. If I can figure out a way to film well and get it uploaded to my computer, I will film next week's Baby Outside. I think I'm going to use my digital camera for that. You're Italian and you don't cook? Please, Joe. It's genetic. Italian. I like to see you guys mingle with each other. ZXC says, let's buy Joe a new video camera. Excellent idea. All right? Excellent idea. Get a job. So where do you go to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Well, I don't think I'm going to tell you. My ex left me. She was an excellent cook. A purebred Italian, smart, no complaints, and boy, she could cook. I bet you drink coffee. Yes, I do. I do drink coffee. It's great that folks can talk to you about their experiences, concerns, etc. from Stephen Jones. Yes, that's why I made this channel years ago. That was a blonde question, or do you mean blob? I made this channel years ago regarding eBay and PayPal. I have never been to the city of Boston. I was up in Massachusetts last year at this time when I went up to New Hampshire to an eBay event. I made a video about that as well. I think you guys may remember that. But because of COVID-19, they didn't have it this year. So are you going to get remarried to another Italian lady? I don't think so. I don't think I'm ever going to get remarried. Okay, guys, come up with some questions, comments, and concerns. I hope to be making some on-location videos in the next couple of months, weather permitting and COVID permitting. Things are still a little. I had a buyer say item not as described, a new sealed item, to get a full refund and full return. I don't doubt that one bit. I see your sales every weekend on Facebook, says Get a Job. Get a Job, that means you're either a member of the eBay stores group or you're a member of the eBay, nothing but eBay group. Yes, I always take pictures on the trunk of my car of a big pile of boxes. I do that to motivate people, to get them to get out there and do some listings and some sellings, and I hope it's working. During last week's video, I made 3 sales. So far during this video, I haven't made a single sale, but I know some of you guys have, so you know what I'm going to do? When I end this video, I'm going to go on eBay and I'm going to bulk edit my store to 1%. 1% promoted listings bid, and we'll get some sales cranking. I hope all of you guys had good sales this week. My sales were good, but not earth-shattering. But I don't think I had any really slow days. Who's the lesser of the evil? FedEx, or I guess UPS, or USPS? You know, a guy just left me a feedback the other day. He said, Joe, very nice item, but FedEx dropped the ball. He was happy with the item that I sent him, but he made a complaint that FedEx dropped the ball, and I have no idea what he's talking about. Maybe he got the item a day or two late. He wasn't specific about it, so I really can't answer that. So yeah, that's the situation. So where are we at, people? I'm in those groups. I like seeing your sales every Monday, Joe. I'm also going back to 1% promoted. I don't see a difference. You know, I don't think it's the real percentage that matters. I think it's the bulk editing. I bet if you go and bulk edit, let's say 1 and 2% every 3 days, let's say Monday 1%, then Wednesday or Thursday change it to 2% bulk edit, then go back to 1%, I bet your sales will be good. Bulk edit promoted listings every day, up and down 1%. I don't think you need to do it every day, because if you do it on Monday, usually that wave will continue to Wednesday, I think. That's what I've noticed. But as soon as we finish this video, I'm bulk editing, my friends, and I'm going to get some sales going, because today has been my slowest day of the week so far. So yeah, we're going on now. We're on 47 minutes. I'm not going to go any longer than an hour tops, and I'm not sure if you want me to even go that long tonight. It all hinges on your comments, questions, and concerns. The main thing I want to hear from you, next Friday night, do you prefer me outside with a video, or do you prefer me right here live? That's really the thing I'd like to know more than anything else right now. Because if we're gonna go with the live, I want to put up the reminder screen midweek. Depends on what shipping, which shipper to choose. Depends on what you're shipping. Yeah, if it's heavy and bulky, you want to go with FedEx. We've got to vote for live. Gary says go outside with a regular video. I know Gary's big on the regular videos because he likes them under 30 minutes. Live. Joe, did you get your own FedEx account? No, I'm using eBay's. And the reason is I have credible information that eBay gives us a cheaper price than if we had our own FedEx account. That's what I've been told from a credible person who I cannot name. So that's why I'm using eBay's discount. I enjoy your something to do with my internet. I've never had this problem before. Okay? If any of you guys have anything I can do, any ideas how I can stop this internet problem or solve it, let me know, but don't tell me anything too technical. In fact, here, wait, we'll do it this way. Maybe you might have to email it to me. I'm writing this down. Nice to be prepared. There. I have the router right behind where I am right here, okay? I have no idea why it's doing this, all right? In fact, I'll show it. It's right there. I've never had a problem with my internet before. Apparently, it doesn't like live streaming. And it's a shame because this is supposed to be the fastest service available, but I think I'm going to switch. I lost you. Thank you for another wonderful podcast. Is it fiber cable internet? I don't know what speed it is. Joe, start adding different sellers to your show. That will be super. I assume you mean as guests, right? And yes, I do plan to do that in the near future. So you'll be happy. I will be having other eBay sellers on live as long as I can get this working correctly. As I said, I am planning on switching cable companies to a close in a few, because I don't want to upset you guys with this internet problem that I seem to have. Maybe I'll ask Matthew. Do an internet speed test. Stephen, I did one maybe about 6 months ago, and it actually came out really fast and really good. But you know what I think the problem is? I think the problem is this phone, because this is the iPhone 6, which is quite old, as you know, and I'm thinking that's why. If any of you guys have a new edition iPhone, which is probably most of you, I bet you guys wouldn't run into this problem. I guess I should really upgrade the phones, right? I've had this iPhone 6 for quite a long time. But you know, it still works really good for everything except this. Need a new router? Get an iPhone SE new? Get an iPhone 12? Yeah, but those things are expensive. Get an iPhone 11. Everyone's got some good ideas. Call your provider and ask them why the internet keeps dropping out. Listen, if I call my provider, I'm going to tell them I'm switching services. I can't use my Mac. Remember what happened last week? Christ on the cross in Brooklyn. It tells me I need to add some encoding software, and I'm not going to do it, all right? A good man knows his limitations. I would rather go out right now and buy a brand new iPhone, no matter what it costs, I don't care. I would rather spend that money than attempt to add the encoding software in my Mac. I'm just not going to do it, okay? Not doing it. YouTube is crazy for requiring that. My new iPhone came out this year for $399. Well, yeah, I may have to do that. Try doing a complete reset to your router. Well, it's a little too late right now in this video to be doing that, but yeah. Oh, your Mac does fail. Buy a PC and learn Windows. It's a shame that the Mac is not capable of streaming a YouTube video on its own. These things are expensive. So yeah, I reset my router once a week. Do it next time. I've reset it in the past, but usually not once a week. Do you consider North Jersey the 6th borough? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Which Mac do I have? I have it right in front of me here. Here, I'll tell you right now if you want to know. Isn't it great how I have all this information at the tip of my finger? About this Mac, let's just see here what I got. Well, I have Mac OS Catalina version 10.15.6, MacBook Pro. So if is that what you want to know? Is that what you want to know, Gary? What is the OS on the Mac? Yeah, I just told you, version 10.15.6. MacBook Pro. Early 2015 is when it was made. '15. So you figure it's over 5 years old, but I know Macs can go longer than 5 years. Do you think, well, there's no real reason for me to go out and buy a new one, because Christ, those things are expensive. They make an iPhone look cheap, right? Gary says, okay, it should be fast enough. No, Gary, it's not, because it wants me to add encoding software in order to do a YouTube video, and I'm not going to do it. Not happening. Nope. Way too many bad things can happen. The best for artwork. Well, since I'm not very artistic, that's not going to help me out at all. I can't draw a straight line. I was always a failure with the arts. Joe, eat less frozen pizza and get a new phone, iPhone SE. Chris Tiger says, thanks and don't worry. You need a tech to set you up. Get a job. You're 100% right. You know, that's a point that I want to bring up. I don't expect people to be good at what I do, the average civilian, all right? To be good at tech stuff, because a lot of us aren't. It's the most aggravating, hateful, despicable thing that I ever get myself involved with is tech stuff. Joe, you're great at selling. Thank you. And I know that not everybody can sell, but I admit my failings. I suck at technology. I despise it. Anytime I'm asked to do any kind of an upgrade like that, I won't do it. I won't do it. So yeah, chuckfishscammer.com, by the way, is a very, very good website. I tell all of you guys, when you have some time, chuckfishscammer.com website is a very good website. It's an accurate website, and you guys can learn a lot of the things that person has done to myself and others. If you ever want to visit it, I don't have, look at this thing again. Well, looks like we're frozen again. Guys, I'm getting the circle spinning, so I have to guess that you guys are not hearing me right now. But I can see it's been 1 hour since we've been online. I got to do something about this. I feel like I'm working in a cave. Picture is blurry, not frozen. Well, I'm getting that spinning wheel that looks like I'm going to lose connection. So I don't know what to tell you. Gary says he's hearing. It's working again. You hear me? Joe, I love you, but I can't stop video. Okay? Well, listen, guys. Obviously, I'm having some technical issues. So I think it's the best thing. The router's not that old. It's only a few years old. Guys, Gary says go back to regular Friday night videos. You know, Gary, I might just do that. Guys, I'm going to end this now. All right? I don't want to put you through any more headaches. All right? I'm Crazy New York Driver, and you're not. Thank you for watching. Make sure you type your comments in when this is loaded on YouTube so I know what to do for next week. I might just do what Gary says and try a traditional video for next week outside. But yeah, I got to figure out a way to upgrade this, and soon. Guys, thank you for all good eBay sellers. I hope you make a ton of bitch. Don't any of you ever be fitchy, because it'll really upset me. Thank you, good night, and we are done.